Good morning and welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura of Penrose Knits. I'm a knitwear designer and online knitting content creatory person. Oh gosh, we really are going like old school like vlog mode today. I just picked up my camera completely unplanned because today at home my plan was to have like a big house sort out day, and that basically means like sorting out the bedrooms and like the kitchen and like cleaning everything. So of course I'm gonna do everything in my power to avoid doing that, but I am definitely in like sorting out mode. So I thought I would tackle this. Oh dear. This is basically my yarn and knitting supply storage. But this room is also my husband's office, loosest sense of the term. He doesn't work from home that often, but he does kind of need a space for when he does work from home. And I mean, his desk is mainly covered in transformers, so how he gets anything done, I don't know. But this room just gets so messy so quickly. It becomes like a dumping room basically for anything. There's like puzzles on the floor, boxes, bits of wood, old dust sheets. There's like, yeah, this room very easily becomes a dumping ground, and we haven't even finished decorating it. We haven't painted the skirting boards. We've got the door to the cupboard that hasn't even been painted, and the plan for this room really was to kind of be my knitting room with a desk in it for Ben when he needs to work from home, which isn't that often now, and it's going to become even less often when he changes jobs in the new year. So ultimately today I'm just going to be tidying it and sorting it out. Long term I would like to have a chair in here, a rug in here, because in the winter in particular our living room gets a lot of sunlight and you can't even really sit in there because it's too bright, whereas in here this little corner it's got like a bit of light on it, but it's like kind of shady. Now I'm thinking, is it a good idea to have my yarn in the direct sunlight like that? Probably not. Might need to get a curtain for this door. It's probably a good idea. But I would like to paint this door, maybe a nice colour, but I would like some like cork boards to put stuff up. I want to make a feature of my swatches. I just want to generally get a bit more organised because things are pretty messy and it's not that nice to be in here. So that was a 3-minute long intro to I'm basically going to tidy up my craft room today. I have tried to make one of these videos before, but I found it really boring to edit, so like it never came to life. But I think I'm going to try and make it kind of like, it's not going to be a stash tour because the video would be like 2 hours long, but I might show you kind of a few little bits in my stash that are, I don't know, special or different, or I haven't really shown you, or that I've definitely got plans for, or anything that I might not have plans for that you could help me with. So hopefully you'll enjoy this video today. There's going to be some time lapses most likely. Last time I filmed it, it was just basically like my bum against these shelves for like half an hour. So I'll try and avoid that a little bit and make it a little bit more interesting for you. But it's probably going to be mainly like chat. So if you've got a project to do and you just want to listen to someone jabbering on about knitting, then this is the video for you. If you're looking for beautifully shot creator content, maybe not. But you know, gotta do what you gotta do. I'm procrastinating now. Let's get on with it. Do you think I've got enough white yarn? So ridiculous. Thought I'd do a little yarn highlight because I could definitely use some help with these yarns. When my husband went to Copenhagen a couple of months ago, I said bring me back some yarn, and he brought me back these. And I noticed the other day that Petite Knit's latest design, she's using this yarn, so man's got taste. However, he got me 4 different colours, 1 skein of each, so I don't really know what to do with them. What I did ask him to do the next time he went back is he got me 2 more white. So it's 4-ply, it is woolly AF. So for me personally, hats are out of the question, scarves are out of the question, maybe a shawl, to be fair, because I'd probably be wearing the shawl over a jumper. I am feeling like I want to make myself a shawl, you know, not for like a fashion item, more as like a practical item. As we go into the winter, we are in an energy crisis. Our first kind of port of call when we get cold is to layer up before we stick the heating on. So I think a shawl will be a good idea for me this year. I am obviously doing the MCAL at the moment, but that shawl will be for my grandma. And also not really known for its warmth, the Stephen West ones. I'd like something, I mean this would definitely be warm because it's like woolly wool. So I have 3 of these, and I was going to stripe it with the burnt orange one because this is my favourite colour for sure. Some kind of striped design maybe, but then I'll be left over with a grey and a burgundy. Not really my colour. I don't really wear a lot of dark red, but it is ever so nice because it's like probably not the best lighting. It is beautifully heathered and they're very, very nice together. Maybe like subtle, sorry, Penny's down there. Like low contrast colour work, or I don't know. I could use them as part of a striped half and half triangles wrap because I've probably got plenty of other yarn and stuff that I can use these for, but I would quite like to just use these on their own. Also a fingering weight shawl, I'm not sure I could do. So maybe I would hold them double, just do like a mild garter stitch shawl or something. I don't know. What do you think? What pattern do these 2 make you think of? I'm happy to put other yarns into it as well. Maybe there is something that I could use all of it, or I just use all the white with 1 accent colour. I do really like the pressed flowers shawl. Can't remember who it's by, but I've seen quite a few made. And every time I see it, I think that looks like it would be really enjoyable to knit. And if I am going to knit myself a shawl, it's going to have to be something. Oh, bye-bye, darling. Have a good day at work. If I am going to knit myself a shawl, it's going to have to be something that I'm really going to enjoy. And I've got a bit of hankering for colour work. I'm pretty sure it's mosaic knitting, the pressed flowers. Baby, no, don't shut the door, because you'll knock the clothes off. But thank you. See you later. But we'll see. I don't know. So yeah, let me know what you think. It's the Dance Penciled 8-2. There you go. That's your first little yarn highlight. Back to the boring bit. Really did pick the wrong day to do this. It's so bright over there. Another little yarn feature. You guys will know what this is. I've got some Nuya Today. This was sent to me by a really kind viewer back when I was really struggling to get hold of any Nuya Today, and she was already a Patreon, so she ordered some for me. I've got 2 shades. I've got Snow and that one. And basically I've got 3 plates of each. I've not done anything with it yet because I kind of wanted to just like have it as it is for a while because it's so lovely, but also I wanted to make sure that I was doing the right project with it. I have used a little bit of this on a cowl, but it barely used anything. And I basically am struggling to find something where I can use the yarn on its own and get a full garment, because I've only got 3 plates of each, so to hold it double it's not really enough for a garment. So I keep thinking, oh well, I could do a vest, but then I don't really see myself in a green vest. I could do a white vest, but I would really quite like to use it together. And I was literally lying in bed last night awake thinking about this Nuya Today and I was googling and looking, and I thought, you know what, I've got green and white. We've got a festive jumper in the making here, am I right? Every year I'm like, I want to make myself like a Christmas jumper, either something like Fair Isle or not like Christmassy with like Christmas trees on it or something, but just like a kind of wintry, festive sweater. And I suddenly thought, oh, what about doing the Maya cardigan, but the sweater version like Rebecca from the Creia Bayer did? She did it in burgundy and white, and all the colour work was just like white. And I was thinking, oh, do you know what? I might have enough between these two, because there's quite a lot of colour work on the yoke and on the bottom and on the sleeves. And what I could do is, to make sure I've got enough of this green, is I could do like the collar and the colour work in the white. Would that work? I'd have to look at the chart again, but I could maybe make it work. And then I thought, oh, I could just like make up my own. I've got the Strange Brew pattern by Tin Can Knits, which is like a circular yoke recipe pattern, and it's made so that you can like find out whatever gauge you want and insert your own kind of colour work pattern into it. So I'm thinking maybe that's what I'll do, and I'll have like a festive jumper. The only thing is I've realised I'm not sure how much a circular yoke suits me. I think it looks fine on me, but I'm not drawn to that fit. I much prefer, like, I think drop shoulder is what suits my frame the best, really. But to do a drop shoulder colour work would involve doing colour work on the wrong side, and that's a hell no from me, especially in Nuya Today. So I think it would have to be something in the round. So I thought, well, I could do raglan. I could do like a oversized raglan Fair Isle thing, and like do the sleeves first and then just keep going on the body until I run out of yarn. So yeah, do you know of any raglan Fair Isle DK weight patterns? Let me know. There is one that I've seen doing the rounds. It's like really Christmassy. I think it's by a yarn producer. It might be by Sandnes or Rauba or something like that. I've seen a few people on Instagram make it, and it's green and white in the picture, and it's a bit more fitted, but I can't remember what that pattern is. So if you know what that is, let me know, because that does look like it'd be really fun. It's like quite modern Fair Isle. Who made it? If that's you, let me know, because that would also be good. Because in all honesty, I'm a little bit patterned out, as in like writing patterns. I've still got the eclair on the go, and I've got my stripy ribbed thing on the go as well, and I think that's enough for now. And I've already started to like plan for 2023, so I think I would quite like to work on something for myself over Christmas that isn't my own pattern, just as a special treat. So I'm going to stop hugging this Nuya Today and carry on. I'm making good progress, I think. I've pretty much gotten rid of most of the things down here that shouldn't be in here. There's a lot of like DIY stuff that gets dumped in here because we're doing a lot of decorating and stuff at the moment. But I'm now getting to the point where I have to sort through all the loose needles and measuring tapes and progress creepers and all that boring stuff. Yay. And just while we're here, I thought I would show you what I do for moth prevention. We get quite a lot of moths in this house. We're right opposite a field, and they tend to show up towards the end of summer. My mum has made me loads of these little lavender bags with lavender from her garden. She also puts like a little bit of essential oil in there as well, and I've got a pot of lavender essential oil so I can kind of top it up. And I just kind of put these in and around and like pop them in, so there's like a general lavender vibe. I also need to get some, I think I want to get some cedar balls or something like that, just to be extra sure, because I do like to have all my yarn on show. Now I can't stop thinking about the fact that it's all in the sunlight. So in the summer that doesn't happen because the sun's much higher, but in the winter it does. So I need to get a curtain. Working, baby?
Daddy.
Oh, your daddy. Are you working, daddy?
Yeah.
Is that your computer?
Yeah. No,
Okay, so the sun has like started to move around a bit now, so the lighting's a bit better. Are you ready for another yarn highlight? This guy here is actually like 3 different types of yarn, kind of 2 different types of yarn. My mother-in-law likes to buy me John Arbon yarn for Christmas, which is amazing, and one year she got me the Devonia 4-ply, and the next year she got me the Devonia DK, and she got them in the same shade. I'm not sure if she realised, but they are the same colour, and it is the colour Nightshade, I believe. Yes, which is this purple, which has got, just like most John Arbon yarns, it's got a lot of different colours to it. Let me hide.
That one can't do that.
This is the last time I'm rolling this up, darling. I'm not doing it again, okay? So, it's a beautiful colour, but it's not a colour I would wear. I'm not really into purple. You are, Benny. I like lilac. Yeah, you're covered in pen in your new white top. I like lilac, but I don't really wear dark purple. And I've got 3 skeins of the 4-ply and 2 skeins of the DK. And when she first got it for me, I bought the Drops Kid Silk to match, because I thought, well, I'm going to be able to do something that's a DK weight with this held with the
purple. It's
4-ply.
purple.
You want the fluffy purple?
It's up.
The thing I keep worrying about, here you go, baby. I wound it up for you.
Oh, ow.
Now, be gone with you. The thing that I keep going through my head is, would it be rude to gift the yarn back to my mother-in-law in a garment? Like, if I make something with this yarn and give it to her, would that be like rude? Because I'm like, well, she obviously likes the colour because she chose it. But then my other thought is, my mum really likes purple and really suits purple. Oh, actually, looking at it, I've got 3 DK. I've got 3 DK and 2  4-ply, and I've learnt that like fingering plus fingering does not necessarily make. Stop it. Fingering plus fingering doesn't necessarily make DK. But I could hold the 4-ply together, and then I've got more DK. And though they were bought at different times and they're different dye lots, I think they're very, very close in colour. Normally, you can tell this on camera. Yeah, I think this one might be slightly lighter, but it's also not the best light to really show you. But if it was held with a mohair, I could get away with that, I think. And I could also, like, alternate skeins. So what I'm thinking is, my mum has said a number of times that she prefers a V-neck, and I have been making something for my mum, which I'm not going to show you now because I am going to do like a whip down video, and she, like, all of these bags are filled with whips, and I'm going to do a separate video where I go through them all and rip some of them out and decide what to do with them. I've seen a few of those videos and I find them really fascinating, so that'll be coming soon. I'm thinking with this, if I can find something that's like an Aran weight, so like DK plus mohair, I could just make her like a nice simple V-neck sweater, and I think that would go down really, really well. I have made my mum a jumper before, but it was out of yarn that I would no longer choose, and it was like a colour work jumper, which I think I really liked, but I'm not sure is very much my mum. Like, she wears it, but I don't know if it's something she would choose. I want to make her something.
You have to try it on.
I want to make her something that she would like wear a lot. So I think that's probably what that's going to end up being. Hi, darling. Whichever like petite knit pattern has got the V-neck, whichever one that is. I just need to do some like yardage checking really, and I could always get an extra skein if I need to. But I am keen to get that out of stash because it's taking up space and it's beautiful yarn. It should be used. I just need to do it. My mum's birthday is in December. So I do stand a good chance of making her something by then, especially at a bigger gauge, because I'm not knitting Christmas presents this year, or at least I'm not knitting them in December. I am doing a cardigan for my husband. Oh, that's a saga in itself. I've got more on that, but I'm going to talk about that more in the next podcast. My tummy is rumbling. I don't know if the microphone's picking that up. And like, I've made my sister a sweater for her birthday for the past 2 years, and now I'm thinking I really should like make something for my mum. Like, it's definitely her turn. Wow, we are getting very blown out. And I think my mum and my sister are the two most knit-worthy people I know, because they are also yarn crafters. They crochet, my mum sews, but they both appreciate a handmade garment a lot and would take care of it and would love it for a long time. So I think that's what that is going to be, some form of v-neck jumper for my mum. They also have, whilst I'm sitting down here, a sweater quantity worth of the Rowan Valley Tweed fingering weight 4-ply. I bought this in a sale somewhere originally to make a So Basic sweater by Maxim Sir for my husband, but I quickly realised that fingering weight sweaters are not something I enjoy making, let alone one for my husband, which would be a little bit like even more knitting than if I was doing it for myself. So I've got no plans for this, but I will probably hold it with some form of mohair. It's a really weird yarn. It's like dry, there's no stretch to it. It's not the Rowan felted tweed, but it feels very much like the Rowan felted tweed. So what I need to do is get like a really yummy, I need to get a nice mohair to hold with this, maybe get some knitting for Olive, so really bump up the softness. And then I've got something that's DK. I'm quite in the mood for something loose gauge. Have I got anything else here I can show you over here?
Mommy!
Yes, darling?
You have it for me!
There you go.
Thank you.
God. You're being so noisy, you're not going to be able to hear anything I'm saying.
Oh! I will roll it back. I will roll it.
I can hear your iPad playing. It will run out of battery if you don't turn it off. Shall I go and turn it off?
No!
Well, then go and watch it, because if you're not watching it, we need to turn it off. I'm going to turn your iPad off. Works every time. So I've done all the yarn sorting. I have just got this box here. It's supposed to be my like needles, like my box for like my sets, but it's ended up having a load of crap in it and all my swatches in it as well. So I just need to sort that out, and I need to gather like all the bits and pieces that are around the house to sort out as well. And then this is all done. The rest of the room is still looking like an absolute tip, but a lot of that is just stuff that needs to be put away or go down to the garage, or my husband's stuff, which is his responsibility, not mine. So yeah, I think it's looking good and I'm feeling good. It's been a good way of not tidying the kitchen. Oh my gosh, I think it's done. As well, as done as it can be for now. This little setup is just an artist's impression. These are all from the downstairs guest bedroom, which isn't currently being used and isn't for a while. So I thought, well, I might as well bring the little chair up so I can kind of get an idea of what it's going to be like. And then I'd like to get a much bigger, more comfortable armchair, but in a less expensive month. Might look in January sales next year, or just keep my eye out in TK Maxx. But you get the vibe as to what it's going to be like. It would be nice to have a little table as well. This cupboard is currently full of just like random stuff, so I don't necessarily need access to it. But I could have like a little like side table here, almost like a little console with a light. Oh no, I can't put a light, there's no plug socket. There's a plug socket down there, so I could maybe have like a little round table with a light on it or something. But yeah, I think it's looking good. I have podcast from here before, but as you can see, the light in the winter, it's difficult. It has to be a really cloudy day or quite late in the day. But I would like to podcast from here on a more permanent basis because it's a lovely backdrop. But I've got the downstairs room just in case. Right, let's show you. Let's give you the little tour. So starting at the top left, this is my drops air, which was going to be for a Chantilly sweater, but my sample went really wrong and I just had to park it for a little while. But that's what that is for. Here we have some new acquisitions, which I'll go into the next podcast, and some backup little bits here. This is a candle that was sent to me by Aura Beads, and I've been waiting to light it. I've been like waiting for a cozy autumn knitting day when I'm gonna light it and go into a little bit more detail about that. But for now, there you go. She also sent me some stitch markers, so I will link her below. Here we have got my Nuya Today. This is a sweater quantity for a cardigan for my husband. Maybe more on that in the next podcast. And here we have 3 random balls of Rowan soft boot clay, and I can't remember why I ordered it. I think I wanted to make a hat, but now I'm like, would that work? I don't really know. Basically, I'm quite fascinated by this yarn, and I would just kind of like to play about with it really, maybe do some swatching, see what happens. Over here we've kind of got a funny little spot. I think I was a bit optimistic with this for my swatches, but I would like to in some way kind of maybe have them like down this wall or something. We'll see. And then this is just all my like barber cords and a pair of scissors and notions and winder that's definitely broken and is not gonna survive the MCAL. This is probably like the most boring bit because I've just got my camera equipment, my needles. All these project bags are filled with unfinished whips and projects. So I'm going to do a video where I just go through all of those and hopefully make some decisions. And then down here we've got my blocking mats. This is like all my kind of spare stuff, like tiny fiddly bits and fixed circular needles, and some spare unused project bags down here. The one at the front is Hide and Hammer, and the one at the back is Willow Handmade, and they are definitely my 2 favourite project bags. I use them all the time. There we have Penelope's Ingrid sweater, which is still in the making and is on hold for now, just because I've got a few other things in the meantime, but she will be finished eventually. And over here, oh, while we're here, I did kind of tidy up the top. There's still a few more bits up there, but it's just like plant pots and candles, so I'm not too bothered. I could store stuff up there if I really wanted to, but I think I need to get some nice baskets or something. Maybe I'll get a couple of shade loving plants. So up here, this is all my like leftover oddballs of mohair, which I'm just kind of keeping for as and when I need them. I do find uses for them actually, and I like basically raided this for my holiday slipover. And on the top we've got the yarn my husband got from Copenhagen, and the rest of it is hiding behind there. This is a sweater quantity of the same yarn as this that I went into earlier, but in dark blue, which I bought on sale and never really got around to using. But I did buy this. This is the Sannes Tin Silk Mohair, I think, which is the one that's got a little bit of wool content. And I mean, it's an amazing match. So I think this will become a sweater eventually. I've just got to find the right person because, yeah, navy blue isn't really a colour I wear. But I guess I could. I don't really know. I just feel weird wearing a blue jumper with blue jeans, and I basically wear jeans. And I would also feel weird wearing a blue jumper with black leggings. So I basically got nothing that a blue jumper would go with. But again, I think my mum would probably suit this colour. She wears a lot of floral dresses, so maybe a cardigan for my mum. Over here, we've got my basket of red camgarn and matching kid silk mohair. Some of it has gone into this sweater, which is still a work in progress. That's my next design. So everything I've got left over to finish that off is in there, and I'm going to be left with loads of this red, which I still don't know what I'm going to do with. It might end up being something for Penny. And here's my little pippin scarf, which I just thought I'd drape over. Oh, whoopsie. There's my 10K medal. I just thought I'd drape that over there for it to kind of like, you know, be seen when I'm not wearing it. It's not been cold enough for me to wear it yet, but we're getting there. Family passports, weird. Why are they there? Oh my God. And then next shelf we have got, so I made this pot, whee! Here I've got, so I've kind of got almost a sweater quantity, but this is going to be something for Jeff. I think this is going to be the Moby sweater by Petite Knit, but for Jeff, because I really like it in the dark. And I've got like 2 balls of this colour, 2 balls of that colour, 1 ball of that, 1 ball of that, little bit of that, little bit of that, little bit of that. So this is basically like accessory knitting. These would make really good ribbed hats, and I think I might make ribbed hats for my brothers this year, but like no pressure, and I don't want to be doing it at Christmas. The goal this year is no gift knitting in December for Christmas. I don't want to be feeling that stress, but I don't really have any portable projects at the moment, so I might cast on a 1x1 ribbed hat using my kind of made up recipe in some of this yarn, just to kind of clear it off the shelf and to have a hat ready to go to gift. Here we've got all my lovely hand-dyed yarn. So this is part of my MCAL. So I've got, yeah, my spare MCAL yarn. I bought this at Unravel. It's a nice sock yarn. This is a sweater quantity here of this Biff Sugar, which I'm going to be holding with this Knitting for Olive to do another version of this one. But I will go more into that in the next podcast in the acquisitions. And here we have all my random white yarn. Quite a lot of just random white skeins there. Moving on down here, again, we kind of have odd things here. I've got all this Saga, which if I held with something else would be a sweater quantity. I love Saga. It's what I used for the Chantilly, and I think it's just really beautiful. So that's there for when I strike. This Finita yarn by We Are Knitters was gifted to me, and I'm going to be going more into that in the next podcast because I am currently using it for something, but again, we'll go into that at a later date. This is the Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino, which I used for the original sample of the Eclair, but didn't really work out, and will still become an Eclair. It will be going to my sample knitter. Here I've got the rest of the yarn for Penny's Ingrid, just there waiting. And over here I have a sweater quantity of the Sublime DK in this burgundy colour, which I'm intending to turn into either a festival sweater or a festival dress for Penny. And I'm going to use the white. They're not the same yarn, but they're very similar. I'm going to use the white here to do like the lines, because I thought it would look like fairy lights and it would be really lovely in December, and I'll probably make it like a size up so she can wear it this year and next year. I've kind of got a sweater quantity of VIP here, but it would need to be held with something because I'm not knitting it on its own. And I've also got some Along Avec Anna Merino and Mohair. That's what that is as well. And I was going to make accessories with this last year, but I got a bit accessoried out. And that is still what those are kind of in line to be. We've spoken about that already. We've spoken about the purple. I've got almost a sweater quantity worth of the Petite Knit and Santa's Gone Double Sunday. And I've got 2 of the whipped cream and 2 of the bright orange to kind of make that up to a sweater quantity with stripes or potentially contrast sleeves. I don't really know yet. We won't talk about this. And on the bottom shelf is pretty much all my leftovers. This is all sock yarn. A lot of it are full skeins. There I've got odd balls of like Aran, DK, fingering when I've only got like 1 or 2 balls of them. And the same in there, but for like sock yarn. So there you go. That is the craft space. I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking it too. We need a great big plant right there, don't we? We need a nice, beautiful plant. And just some more soft decor, and we'll paint that door eventually. So there you go. Blimey, I really am quite warm after doing all that. Okay, so yeah, it's all done. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this little cheeky little bonus video. I'm basically I want to put a little bit more time into my YouTube. I've not been able to do that for quite a while, but I'm going through a bit of a YouTube phase at the moment. Here comes the sun. So I would like to podcast a little bit more regularly, because when I only podcast once a month, they tend to be really, really long. There's a lot of talking, there's a lot of editing. So I'm going to try and bring it down to every 2 to 3 weeks again for the podcast. And I would like to do more little separate videos like yarn stash, whip down, vlogs. I love doing vlogs. Like, they're one of my favourite things to make. So yeah, hopefully, don't hold me to it, but you can expect a little bit more from me on YouTube over the next coming months in the run-up to Vlogmas. I'm so excited. So thank you so so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any pattern suggestions for me. If you've used any of these yarns successfully, let me know what you did. If you've got any advice for me, help. And I will see you next time. The next one will probably be a podcast though. This might not go out until after my next podcast. We'll see. Basically, I'm kind of content loading because I've got to have quite a lot of dental work over the next few weeks, and I'm probably not going to be able to or want to talk very much on my normal filming days. So I'm trying to get in as much now as I can. So I don't really know when this will go out, but it'll be some point soon. It depends how boring it is to edit. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Ta-ta!